I had to think about what could I pass on to you that you could use immediately and make your life better. So my objective with this is to make your life better. It's called faith, God, and imagination. Definition of faith: complete trust or confidence in someone or something. That means that you do not have any doubt. You are firm in your belief. You cannot be swayed from this unless new information proves to be incorrect. So faith is the thing that allows you to truly understand yourself. The things that we don't know that are supposed to be in the dark are in us. And the things that we don't know how to do, faith allows us to step out and do them just by the act. Don't concern yourself with the how. It gets done for you. So faith is a critical portion, and I do mean critical portion of development. You must have faith in the inner self to grow. The definition they gave for God is God, one, who is both God and man, Father and Son, male and female, beginning and end. So when we speak of God, is your mind outside of you, or is it focused on you? The truth of how I have learned is that God is now you. And in the beginning, when the imagination conceived the idea of man, in its benevolence, it surrendered all that it had to become man. And as he did this, he created the sun, the rock, to bring the information from the position of God to man. And when he realizes that truth is hidden to all but the seeker. So that means that if you really want to know thyself, you must look inward. He who looks inward, he who looks outward dreams. He who looks inward awakens. So you must be ready to have faith and believe in who you are for your imagination to be your guiding light. Imagination definition: the action or faculty of forming new ideas or images or concepts of external objects not present to the senses. The ability of the mind to be creative or resourceful. How do you break that down? It says, as a man seeth, as a man thinketh, so shall it be. What I know is that whatever you can see clearly in your vision, with detail, that is your future. And if you don't know what vision is, let me take you on a little vision trip. For those of you who are not from St. Louis, I'm going to take you to a familiar spot. It's called now Martin Luther King and Kings Highway. But at one time it was called Easton and Kings Highway. Can you see Easton and Kings Highway in your mind's eye? There is a gas station on the southwest side. This is like a little small strip mall on the south side. And then on the northwest side, there is Sherman Park or Lowell Center. And then on the east, there is still a lot in preparation. Can you see that in your mind? Everybody sees that? That is your ability to vision your future. You must hone this ability to get what you want. So your imagination, being a creature of imagination, we are strictly imagination. This world only exists because of we exist. So everything that exists on this earth is named by man or God. So this could not be called a bus, could it? You would never believe me if I told you that this is a bus, because we have agreed upon facts and knowledge that this is a podium. So our imagination creates our world. This will not work for you if you have something less than faith. Doubt and fear cannot occupy the space that God occupies, but they will occupy the space when it is absent. Now, the gospel says as follows: Know ye that the Son himself was in ancient days called man, the man above, the Son of man, or Son man, or the name, and the name man was in many times used as God. In order for you to benefit from understanding, you must understand that you are God. And sometimes that concept, in the concept of religion, is hard to believe because we have been always taught that God was somewhere out there and the devil was somewhere down there. Well, both of them are in you, and they appear based on your choices. If you are a negative person in thought and in voice, then you are of the devaluer. The devil is called one that devalues life. So if your language devalues you, if it devalues your character, if it devalues your family, then you are of the evil or of the devil. Am I making sense? Okay. Corinthians 3:17 says, don't you know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in the midst of you? Do you not understand that your life is at your command? That your subconscious is the perfect part of you? Every person has a subconscious that was created in the perfection of the Creator and passed to the first mother. And from each mother, it goes to each child. So the perfection that guides us to strive and thrive is called the subconscious. The subconscious is a part of us that never rests. When the conscious goes blank at night, or because of illness, the subconscious is still there, controlling every function of your existence, including your energy field. So it is the subconscious that you have to be careful about who hears what you think and what you say. See, you cannot hide your thoughts because your thoughts are in your head and your head is in your subconscious. So you cannot hide your thoughts. So it is important, it is empirical that your thoughts be positive, not negative, even though the circumstance that you find yourself in is full of negativity. But understand that the only reason that you're in that negative environment is to extract a positive lesson. And if you don't know the lesson that you learned, understand that you learned it because you stayed alive. That's how we know that everyone in here has gone through great challenges in their life and they have learned lessons. We don't all know what the lesson is, but the evidence is that you are here, so you learn. And it's not important that you know the lesson. It's important that you be grateful that you learned the lesson. The gospel, understanding is the principal thing. If you do not understand, you cannot be or do. If your life is not what you want it to be, then your thinking is not what it should be. Let me say that again. If your life is not what you want it to be, then your thinking is not what it should be. Because you are nothing but a creature of imagination and thinking. So if you cannot control your thinking, you cannot control your mouth. If you cannot control your mouth, you cannot control your behavior. Your behavior gets you locked up. So it is important that we understand what is the principal thing. It is that you must understand clearly in every aspect of your life. Don't get caught up on religion. I want you to get caught up on the way you live, the way you operate, the way you think. Why you think the way you think about what you think about. And this is the best way for you to be thinking about it at the time that you're thinking about it. Because what you think is your future. And I like to always come back to the present. I call it the gift. This second that we currently live in, this 86,400 seconds we call a day, we have those to either trade for something of value or squander them. For the young folk in here, you should never want to be anything less than an A student, because you can be. Simply because you know who you are, and you can be an A student. I'm going to give you this formula real quick. 24, 10, and 7. Within the first 24 hours of receiving new information, you must review it and make sure the notes are clear in your head so that you can repeat it. And then for the next 7 days, you must repeat that information you got 10 minutes a day. That's the 24, 7, and 10 rule. First 24 hours review. For the next 7 days, review that same information for 10 minutes. And then you must study 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. No distraction. None. No radio, no television, no dog, no little brother, no nothing. You must be focused on your learning, because your learning is your future, and your future is our future. So we are very serious about this thing called knowledge. And because the knowledge that you acquire while you are young will bless those later, and your family will be blessed because of the knowledge that you acquire. So understand that understanding is the only thing that exists. If you do not understand, then you are being used. Man's imagination is the key to unlock all his challenges. One must believe in absolute faith in their status as the sons and daughters of God in order to change their course of existence of life. I don't believe that anybody in Muhammad should be lacking on anything. You should not be impoverished, because it says poverty is a poverty thought. Change your thinking, change your life. If you don't have, stop thinking about what you don't have and think about what you need to do to have. Our thinking is everything. Muhammad Rasul says, understanding is the principal thing. And that is in every aspect of your life. If you still harbor bad attitude, anger, viciousness, jealousy, envy, doubt, and fear, those are the enemies of the Rasul. Understand that what's in your head comes out into the world, and we have to deal with it, whether you intended it or not. Genesis 1 and 1:26 says, let us make mankind in our image and likeness. God the Father is the only one that knows the Son of God, and the Son of God is the only one that knows God the Father. How do you get to know? You're already God, but how do you get to know the secret? The secret is that the Ra lives in you. The Ra draws everything, which direction? Up. So if we are in the Spirit of God, then our existence should be elevated. You should not be in the same status that you were 5 years ago. Can you have mishaps? Yes. But you should not stay with that mishap. Because your faith says all I have to do is get up, imagine my future, and I'll have it. Is that understood? The Father came to earth to become man and left all his power with the Son of God. The Son of God is that which all must seek within themselves. So, what is inward is what's important. Do you have those conversations, those truthful conversations with yourself? I recommend that you get in front of a mirror and get real close to the mirror. Real close. And look you in the eye. Look you in the left eye. Because I want you to feel the emotion of God within. You need to understand your power. And you need to stop living below the standard of excellence. It does not pontificate the message that the Rasul left. It does not say that you should know how to make your life better. We must be examples of intelligence. We should be examples of excellence of behavior. We should be examples of everything that is good. The power of of God within us is your faith, imagination, and your doings. Faith and imagination without action is waste. To know and to harbor, to not share, is thievery, because it wasn't yours in the first place. When you came, the Creator created your energy field first. And he put all the things that you need to be successful and to aid the earth in the energy field. And then he identified your mother and your father. He did not care what act was involved in love, in violence, in mistake, in distrust, in abuse. It did not matter. All that was wanted was the act, the sacred act of life coming together. And this entity, which is special, which is a gift to the world, came through that second. And that cell, which was impenetrable by anything else, nothing could get inside that egg except one of those 250 billion sperm. Out of 250 billion sperm, you were chosen. That makes you very, very special. And that specialty is in you, waiting for you to step up and discover it. Know thyself until thyself be true. Positions, heal thyself. I am because you are. You are because I am. Therefore, I am. One must see clearly their vision and their future, and it must be full of detail. One must accept in faith as one believes in the next day's sunrise. One must believe the envisioned future. You must return from your vision and believe your vision is as real as your own scheme. What do I mean by that? I mean that what you see your life, how you see your life at 25 and 26, at 35 and 36, at 50 and 55, at 70 and 80. How you see your life is how your life will be if you have clarity and detail in your picture. How do you get clarity and detail in your picture? You increase your power. Your power comes from your vocabulary. We name things. We create things. Our words are our key. Increase your vocabulary, your world increases, because now the colors in your picture are manifold, manifested in the numbers of words that you have. So your descriptions become heart-wrenching. They become joyous. They become directive. They become cruel. They become joyous. All these things come through the gift of the word. One must do all the things today as if your vision already arrived, and your imagination shall become your life. As a man thinketh and believeth, so shall it be. Your thoughts become your words create your future. Man creates as he speaks. Abracadabra. A man is literally what he thinks about. His character is the complete sum of all his thoughts. Cherish your vision, cherish your ideals, cherish the music that stirs in your heart, the beauty that forms in your mind, the loveliness that drapes your purest thoughts. Out of your vision will grow all delightful conditions. All heavenly environments will come true, and you will at last build your world. The soul attracts that which secretly harbors, that which it loves and that which it fears. The soul searches the height of its cherished aspirations. Then the soul can fall to the levels of untasted desires and circumstances where it receives its own. Understand that the power to be impacted positively and negatively are equal. You were given the balance. It is in your choices that you find your blessing. It is also in your choices that you find your chastisement. But it's still your choices. So understand that no matter what you say or what you think, it's true. If you say I can't, it's true. If you say I can, it's true. So the choice is yours. Gods and goddesses, what shall be your choice? Shall tomorrow be the same as today? Or shall you have a greater light in your head tomorrow? Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but unwilling to improve themselves. Therefore, they remain bound. If you are just like you were when you were 30, you haven't grown. If you are just like you were last week, you haven't grown. If you aren't pressing the envelope, if you aren't doing the things that seem unsure to you, or if you aren't doing the things that cause your character to be challenged, then you're not growing. See, the plant, the seed that you put in the rich soil will be challenged by the soil on top of it. But the rod shall come down upon it, and it shall put down the water upon it and soften the soil, and then the plant shall come out. But it shall fight against the soil. And then as it is absorbed into the rock, it grows stronger and stronger and bigger, and it does it every single day. There is no off time in development. You cannot take a recess from your personal development. You should never go back to the way you used to be if the way you used to be isn't the way that the Rasul said you should be. There is no excuse. Right thinking begins with the words we say to ourselves.